It was Cyber Monday, 2023. A 24-year-old marketing assistant adds a $1,200 MacBook to her cart. She is totally broke. She doesn't have the cash to pay up front. But right below the total, a tiny, friendly, glowing green button appears. It reads, "Pay in 4 interest-free installments of $300. No credit check required." She clicks it immediately. No interest, no friction. Just a shiny new laptop arriving tomorrow. To her brain, it feels exactly like free money. This exact psychological scenario played out millions of times last year across thousands of different e-commerce websites, pushing the global buy now, pay later industry past a staggering $300 billion in total transaction volume. Apps like Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay have completely taken over, becoming the default checkout option for Gen Z and millennials. Conventional financial wisdom tells us that getting a 0% interest loan is always mathematically superior to paying with cash. Why use your own liquidity when a multi-billion-dollar tech firm will gladly lend you the money for absolutely free? But here is the brutal analyst reality check. Wall Street executives are definitely not running a charity for broke shoppers. Today, we are going to tear down the mathematical illusion of buy now, pay later, and expose the underlying mechanics. We will look at the fMRI scans of your brain at checkout, analyzing how they medically bypass your risk assessment center. We'll analyze the hidden 6% merchant fees and reveal how a tiny missed $50 payment triggers compounding late fees. Penalties that effectively equal a 30% APR and can realistically drop your FICO credit score by up to 50 points overnight. Welcome to the 0% interest trap, a system perfectly engineered by neuroscientists to keep the middle class completely broke. To understand why BNPL is so dangerous, we have to look inside your skull. Behavioral economists and neuroscientists have studied a concept called the pain of paying. When you hand over a crisp $100 bill, the insula, a region of your brain associated with physical pain and disgust, lights up on an fMRI scan. Your brain literally registers spending cash as a painful loss, which naturally caps your spending. Credit cards were the first invention to numb this pain by separating the purchase from the payment by 30 days. But buy now, pay later? It completely anesthetizes the insula. By fracturing a $500 purchase into 4 micropayments of $125, the algorithm tricks your brain's risk assessment center. The pain is minimized, but the dopamine hit of acquiring the item remains at 100%. Retail data proves this psychological hijacking works perfectly. When a store integrates Klarna or Affirm, their average order value, or AOV, spikes by an astonishing 45%. You aren't buying the $50 shoes anymore. You are buying the $200 boots because it's only $50 today. You are willingly spending more money you don't have. But wait, if it's truly 0% interest, how are these multi-billion-dollar tech companies making money? The answer is a brilliant, ruthless, two-sided business model. Let's look at the consumer side first. Late fees. The entire BNPL ecosystem relies on the statistical certainty that human beings are forgetful. Data shows that roughly 30% of BNPL users miss at least one payment. When you miss a payment, the free illusion shatters. You are hit with a fixed late fee, often around $7 or $8. If your installment was only $25, an $8 fee instantly translates to an effective APR of over 30%. That is mathematically worse than the most predatory credit cards on the market. Worse, these microloans are often tied directly to your personal bank debit card. If you don't have the funds, you get hit with a $35 overdraft fee from your own bank. A $50 missed payment can quickly snowball into $100 of pure fees. And because it's a fixed fee, the smaller your purchase, the higher your effective interest. They don't charge you traditional interest because they simply don't need to. The penalty fees are far more lucrative, heavily subsidizing the users who pay on time. Now let's look at the other side of the equation, the merchants. When you swipe a standard Visa or MasterCard, the merchant pays a processing fee of about 1.5% to 2.5%. But when you use Afterpay or Klarna, the merchant pays a massive fee ranging from 4% to 6%. Why on earth would a rational business owner accept a fee 3 times higher? Because BNPL is not a payment processor. It is a highly aggressive customer acquisition and conversion tool. Remember that 45% increase in average order value? Retailers gladly sacrifice a 6% margin to sell 45% more volume. The mathematical asymmetry heavily favors the retailer's bottom line. But here is the critical analyst insight. Who is actually paying that 6% fee? The answer is, you are. To absorb these massive BNPL merchant fees, retailers quietly raise the baseline prices of their goods. The cash buyer subsidizes the BNPL buyer. You aren't the customer being served. You are the product being sold to the retailer to clear out their inventory. So how do you mathematically and psychologically escape the 0% trap? First, you must actively reintroduce the pain of paying back into your brain. If it's a non-essential consumer good, force yourself to pay in full, using cash or debit. Second, implement the 24-hour rule. If you want something online, leave it in the shopping cart. Consumer studies show that simply waiting 24 hours reduces impulse online purchases by over 40%. By waiting, the dopamine spike fades, and their billion-dollar algorithm loses its power over you. Finally, calculate the opportunity cost. What if you took that $125 monthly BNPL micropayment and consistently invested it into an S&P 500 index fund yielding 10% historically? Over 10 years, you avoid buying depreciating plastic and instead build a portfolio worth $25,000. Retailers and Wall Street fintech billionaires are banking on your financial impatience. You have a choice. Remain the product being manipulated to clear out their inventory, or become the investor who owns the algorithms profiting off human psychology. If you want to understand the dark psychology of money and build real wealth, hit subscribe and watch this next video exposing the hidden math behind car loans. This video is for informational and educational purposes only, not financial advice. All investing carries risk of loss. Do your own research and consult a licensed financial advisor before making decisions.